the product, enhances the product's efficacy. It makes it much more powerful. And in addition to that, as you know, it contains 3 different caffeines. And everybody thinks of coffee right away, but it is actually what they call the natural caffeines. They're slow release. So there is a green coffee bean, there's a black bean, and there's also guarana, which is a South American plant, which has caffeine. And it really does actually boost your energy levels. And I was saying to Ron, who's on the call here today, the best time to take it is in the morning, because it has about a 6-hour slow release on it. So if you take it before bed, you're going to be counting sheep all night, you know. It's really important you start off the day with it. But it's not like a sugary high. It doesn't give you that kind of sort of empty feeling of immediate energy and then it drops and you're tired again. It's a slow release, so it actually is very, very effective for keeping you on the ball. You don't get that kind of mid-afternoon lag. The Spanish hate it because they can't have their siesta at 2 o'clock. I'm joking, but I mean it keeps you balanced throughout the day. The other thing, of course, is it's worth £80. Okay, so I mean in American money, I guess about $100, right? So it's 80 pounds in value, and it's free. So it's a really good incentive, particularly if you're bringing on a new person as a consultant, because as you know, in the UK, it's £175 for the pack plus £24 registration. So that's 199, and they're not allowed to spend any more than that legally for 7 days. So now they're going to get an extra product within those first 7 days. They don't have to tick any boxes. They don't have to ask for it. The distribution site down in London, they know if the point value is over 400, then it's automatically included in the shipment. Okay, so it's really, really simple. And the other thing that I wanted to mention is about how to use it to actually structure your organization. And I was talking with Pat, who's on the phone, Patricia Thompson, she's on the call tonight, about this earlier in the week. It's so important that you get your people off to a fast start, right? I mean, once you've actually got them to listen to you and go, yeah, okay, I'll try it, and I want to be involved, those first few days are so important, right? The very first day they get their product delivered, you want to ask them to call you. It's really important. When the product arrives, they're going to be quite excited. They're going to be opening up the box. They're going to find these packages. They're going to find that funny little plastic cup with a lid on it, and they're going to go, well, what do I do with this, right? It's really important they get a good experience on the product. Now, I think I might have told some of you before, I had a bad experience when I first started, right? Because I was in Madrid. I was visiting the company for the first time, and Aurelio said to me, oh, here's some product. Take it back to your hotel and stick it in this cup in the morning, mix it up and try it. So the following morning, I put some water in the cup, way too much, clearly. And then I put some product in and I put the lid on and shook it very, well, not really aggressively, just kind of shook it, you know. And these big gluey lumps of blech came out of it, and I had to try and swallow this stuff. And I thought, oh my God, this is a nightmare. I mean, no one on earth is going to enjoy taking this stuff, surely. Right? And so when I got back to the office, they say, well, what did you think of it? I told them exactly. I said, whoa, you've done it all wrong, mister. You've got to do it a different way, right? You need to get a nice smoothie juice, or you need to get a yogurt drink or something. Mango smoothie is my favorite, by the way. And you put a little bit in the bottom of the cup, maybe sort of thumb size, and then add the product, put the lid on and shake it really aggressively. Now you've got to talk, I know you guys know this, but you've got to talk this through with people when they receive their product, because you don't want them to have a bad experience. Find out what their favorite smoothie juice is, or if they like using yogurt drinks, and get them to mix it so it's a creamy, enjoyable experience. So that's day one. Now I'm going to say to them, I'm going to give you a call in a couple of days' time just to see how you're getting on, right? So I put it in my agenda, my diary, to call them in 3 days' time. So by the third day, they will have been taking it, and members of their family will have probably seen them take it and ask, "What's that?" Okay, and this is what you need to know: what experience is going on in their home in those first 3 days, because your goal is to move them forward and get them to find more customers, to get their product free. Okay, so if you can show them how they can continue to take it month in, month out, but it's not going to cost them every month, that's really important, because a lot of people will quit in their first 3 months, because after that they think, oh, I can't keep on paying this £100 or so a month. It's too much out of our budget. So you need to preempt that, right? You need to preempt it by saying, I need to help you find some customers. You don't need to say very much. All you need to do is just identify some people amongst your family, friends, and contacts who you think would benefit from the product, and let's get on the call and I will explain it to them for you. Right? You don't want people trying to explain the product and the business opportunity when they have no idea what they're doing when they start, because they're going to get a bad negative reaction and it's going to put them off right away. Okay, particularly with family, they're going to be stabbing them with nasty verbal knives. What are you doing this for? One of those pyramid things. What do you know about business? What is this stuff anyway? You know, all of that stuff is going to come out. So you don't want them to go through that experience. You want to cushion that by helping them understand that they need to use you in terms of leverage to help them build their organization. And let's face it, you know, if I'm talking to my friends directly about a business opportunity I'm involved in, they've always got one eye on the wall, right? You know, I mean, what's he doing now? What's the latest, right? Whereas if I'm introducing, inverted commas, an expert, because I'm going to edify my upline, I'm going to say, you need to listen to what this person's got to say. They're very experienced with our product and they've had some great success with the opportunity. Now, whether you do it or not, it's not the issue. Just listen to what they've got to say. We're going to connect the three of us together. And when they're finished, it's all over. You can tell me what you think. And that's your job done, right? It's not about convincing people. It's about sharing the opportunity and sharing the product. Some will, some won't. And we say, so what? You know, that's just the way it is. You just move on and go through those numbers until somebody goes, hey, wait a minute. This is something I think I can enjoy. And I know a bunch of people I can talk to. So they're the ones you're looking for out of everyone you speak to. Okay. It might be a second person. So, like we talk about your immediate contacts that you introduce, we say that's your children. And the people that they introduce, that's your grandchildren. The people that they introduce, your grandchildren. And that may go down several levels before you find somebody who really takes it on. You may not even know them. They may not even be in the same country as you. And that's why this business is so crazy, because somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody suddenly gets started in the United States, in Canada, in South America, or as we're going into Europe, across into Europe, and you had no idea. But the system, the back office, is tracking this all the time for you. So you can see 24/7 what's going on in your organization. You can identify the people that are starting to work, the people that are introducing others, and the people that are building their business. And you may need to go down 2 or 3 levels deep or more and start to work with those people that are showing initiative. By all means, work upline too. Find some of the golds, the diamonds, the platinums in your organization and invite them to help you to speak to your key people. And they will love to do that, right? The more senior they are, the more they like to talk to new people. So, you know, I really encourage you to do that. So the first thing you want to focus on with your new person, let's say you've got them started. You're calling them the first day, you're calling them the third day, and then the 7th day, right? And then once a week, and you're trying to encourage them through those first few phone calls to introduce you to people that you can talk to on their behalf. Okay, you want to keep on focusing on telling them that you're trying to get the product for them month after month for free. And by doing that, they need to introduce you to customers. Now, by the time you get to the third week, they're starting to run out of product. So they've got to make a decision to order more and go on to auto ship. That's the best advice you can give them, because they're going to get the maximum discount. Okay, it brings your profitability down a little bit to start with, but you've got to think of this, guys, on a medium to long term basis. You're building a business. It's not about you being an aggressive salesperson out there every day, because that can't be duplicated, right? You might find somebody that is good at selling and that is getting a lot of customers, but you've still got to teach them about duplication, because they will sometimes do very, very well their first month, and then they don't do very well the second month, and then they quit, right? So this is a process to this, and it's tried and tested over 26 years, right? We're not guessing this. So you need to rely and work with your upline, work with me if you like in guiding you. If I can maybe find people in your upline to help you as well. And that's really the key to getting your new person enrolled and started. It's constant communication with them, okay? Being motivated, telling them stories about what's happened to you, telling them stories about what's happened to other leaders, plugging into XYZ, what is it again? You have to remind me that XYZ 123
tools, xyztools.com.
xyztools.com. So on there, you're going to see a whole bunch of training materials that has been set up by the senior distributors in the United States, and lots of references, lots of video, lots of podcasts, lots of conversations that I've had, Keith's had, John Solider's had, and other leaders have had. So there's resources there beyond what's in your back office, okay? So getting all this familiar to yourself, helping the new person to understand what's in their back office, the resources that are there, the training materials, the videos. They need to immerse themselves. And again, some of them will, some of them won't. That's not your issue. You just got to encourage them, okay? And the ones that are serious will pick up on that, and they'll start to work with it. So the next stage is getting them to go to silver, right? That's the first rank up. Why do they need to go to silver? Well, you need to help them to do the structure. It's going to give them a couple of extra bonuses. When they first get to silver, they get another £125 as a bonus just for achieving that position, and it comes in the following month after they've done that volume. So if they do sufficient volume and structure during, let's say, April, then in the next check coming out in May, they'll receive that £125 bonus. And that can happen over 2 consecutive months. So it's really important that you stick very closely with this new person and help them to structure their organization. They need to have at least 3 people on their front line, preferably 4, okay? So you need to help them to bring those people in, as I've mentioned, using your upline as leverage. If you can't get hold of them, then get hold of me, and we'll do 3-way calls, okay? We'll answer their questions, we'll give them some basic understanding of what they need to do, and we'll help them to talk to their people as well, okay? So you're starting to duplicate yourself and get your structure right to qualify as silver, and then to duplicate that to help your people do the same. So your goal is to guide them how to find those first 4 people, the different areas they need to be looking in. We won't go through that in great detail tonight, but there is all of their contacts effectively. They just need to ask, who do they know? Who do they know that may be interested to improve their immune system and to help against this nasty virus that's flying around? Whether they've had the jab or not is irrelevant, because it's important to keep your immune system optimal efficiency. Who do they know that could benefit from an extra £300 to £500 or €300 to €500 a month, which may pay for their car payment, they may pay for their, towards their next vacation. Everybody's dying to get out of there, right? They wanted to go on vacation. We've been locked down so long. So you need to find out what their motivation is to do this, why they decided to get involved with you. These are all questions you need to know, and to find out what it is that's going to motivate them to build their business. Then it's about you guiding them in doing that in terms of their structure. And that's pretty much it. Once you get that momentum going and you really get your head around how to sort of qualify people up to each level, silver's the key though. Okay, if you can just focus on silver, duplicating that process month in, month out with your people and their people. Okay, the rest of it kind of takes care of itself. Now, I'm actually going to invite my friend over on the other side of the pond there, who's kindly joined us tonight. Keith, would you just give us some comment on that? Because you've been involved with this for a long time now. Would you be kind enough just to share your thoughts on what I've just explained, right or wrong?
You're perfect. I mean, the idea is go silver, help other people go silver, continue that process and just build on it. Okay, right. Because you can affect about 3 levels, maybe 4, to Scott's point, your children, your grandchildren, great-grandchildren. When they get to the great-great-grandchildren, I mean, you don't have a lot of influence there. So, so build out that business, continue with it, and then support all the way in depth. And that's what we do through XYZ Tools. That's what we do through all the stuff here. But, there's not much to say no to when you're talking to somebody about Immunotech, Scott. I mean, the reality of it is, look, we've got a product that will give you a better quality of life and help you live longer. Do you want to know more? That's it,
That's it, isn't it? There's really no salsa secreto. There's no secret sauce to this, right? It's a very, very simple business. And I emphasize the word simple. I don't think it's easy. No one will tell you it's easy. It's a simple process. And if you follow it and you simply repeat it time and time again, eventually you'll find the people in your group, whether they're immediately direct to you or indirect. And I don't know, Keith, have you got any stories where maybe, you've introduced someone who introduced someone who introduced someone, and then those first couple of guys quit, and the third level that you didn't even know took off and did something? Has that ever happened to you?
Well, I've got a number of those, but here's what's interesting. Okay, my sponsor quit, and my sponsor's sponsor quit.
Wow!
And that's how I ended up frontline to the company. I sponsored a friend of mine in Turlock, who sponsored a friend of his in Virginia. They both quit, but before they quit, they sponsored John Solider.
Wow!
John Solider sponsored a guy. Before he quit, he sponsored Wally Kralik. But he quit. It's a self-weeding garden. And so
we're talking about 2 of the most successful consultants in the company are in your downline as a result of people falling out. I mean, how many people do you have in your organization now, would you say?
Well, you ran that number by me last week.
Well, I do know. I know it's over 500,000. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's over 500,000 people. But once again, the idea was just talking to the people that you care about, support them, help them succeed, understand the comp plan. I mean, Scott, I think so often people get complicated. What do you have to do to get your product for free? Find one person that'll take this business seriously. One person. Join the business, find one person that'll take this business seriously, and your product is free. Foster Owusu, who's an executive diamond out of Canada, you've had him on your program here. Foster's sponsor joined Immunotech. Smart did not quit, but she only sponsored one person. One person 23 years ago. That person was Foster Owusu. Doesn't have a customer, has never had a customer, never had another distributor. Makes well over $1,000 a month because she sponsored Foster.
Yeah.
So, $12,000 a year plus for over 20 years. Okay, $250,000 because you sponsored one person into the business. So once again, don't complicate it. Have some fun with it, and
Well, the key
right on point.
The key to it is exactly that. Is the point is to have fun with it, right? And a lot of people miss that because if they've got a heavy job already, they don't want to take on another one, right? I mean, they want to do this so they can make a part-time additional income, and sometimes that can surprise you by turning into something much bigger, as we've just heard. But it starts out like that for everyone. It's no different, you know. I mean, all of us over the years.
And Scott, to your point of what you're doing, because everybody says, well, who do you talk to? People that want more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I don't care what the more is.
Sure.
Okay. More vitality, more health, more money, more time, whatever. It doesn't matter. People that want more. And like we talked about it 2 weeks ago, I guess it was, or last week, you know, avoid whiners and complainers, because they've got that down to a science, that whining and complaining. And quitters will cause you a lot of angst in your own heart, because you sponsor them, you want it more for them, but they've got that quitting down pretty good. So you've got no right to complain when they quit, you know. Right. And have some fun with this, and you know, tap into what Scott has got here. You've got a lot of talent there in the UK and Ireland, and have some fun with that. So Scott, I'm going to have to hop off here. I've got.
Good. Yeah, no, that's great. That's thank you. Appreciate it, Keith.
Okay, appreciate you.
I'm going to ask Dr. Jeffrey. You're on the call tonight. Have you got a second to chat with us for a moment? I know he's listening. He's probably having his.
I'm just eating dinner, actually.
Are you? Okay. Well, I won't trouble you then.
No, I'm finished. I'm done now.
Oh, so. You are? Okay. So this is, for if you don't know, this is Dr. Jeffrey Tavish, who's, I've surprised him tonight, so I'm not going to put you on the spot, Jeffrey. Don't worry. I just wanted to sort of say, from a doctor's perspective, and your experience of the product in people getting started. I mean, is it important that they just keep things really simple, or would you suggest they get into the technicalities of it?
Absolutely, keep it simple. And that's one of the big downfalls of having more knowledge. Sometimes is detrimental, because a lot of times people just want to know, they don't even understand the word glutathione, let alone health. The misinterpretation of health has been misconstrued in so many different ways, and it's been annihilated and destroyed. It's been exonerated. It's been so many different things. And health really is all about the body just being itself. Mm-hmm. All about just being itself, and being able to have that intelligence of the innate immune system to fight things that we would naturally in our environment be exposed to. But then we have to expound upon our natural environment. Our natural environment has been so changed by modernization of the humankind that we have, I think we've covered this before in a previous episode about the amount of toxins that we will be exposed to. Now, whether that's through dentistry, whether that's through our water that we drink, whether that's the fabrics that we sit on and we walk with our carpets through the house, etc. It goes on and on and on and on, even to the point of the makeup that ladies put on their face.
Yeah, and I think this has been put under the magnifying glass this last year, and I think people are now much more aware of the effect of these different elements in the atmosphere and in their home that are causing problems. And of course, we've heard nothing but about this virus that's gone around this last year, and I think people are really much more super aware of their immune system. And I think it's fair to say, for those people that have taken the vaccination, also, it's not, that's not a stone wall, right? I mean, it's important that they keep up their immune system by taking a product such as this. Would you agree with that?
I would say that part of what you just said, I do not want to comment on, because the jury is out, and we will not know. We will not know the judge of that until time gives us that time to be able to find out the outcome. In terms of our immune system, we need to support our immune system as best as we can.
Yeah.
When it comes to a natural food substance. Nothing beats Immunical and Immunical Platinum, because let's face it, it's a food that comes from God. You know, it's consumed by cows in terms of grass, and those cows are just happy-go-lucky cows going, "Hey, Mr. Cow, how are you doing over there? I'm doing well. Isn't the sun nice today?" Or, "Jesus, it's too much rain. It must be in Ireland or something." And they're just doing their cow things, and then that process to get to us as a sachet is extraordinary. But the process is also extremely controlled. So we know that we're getting a product that is undeniably pure and is toxin free. So we know that we're getting something that we know is going to scientifically proven to boost our glutathione production. Glutathione happens only where it counts, and that's inside the cell. And this is where all the magic and the destruction happens in our body, is inside the cell, because we are a collection of living cells. And therefore, we need to think on a cellular basis. So you should be wearing glasses that block the blue light that's coming from the screen you're looking at, in order for you to be able to diminish that toxicity that your skin is absorbing and your eyes are absorbing. And that creates a change in your physiology. And that creates a degradation of your glutathione in your eyes, and also globally throughout the body. So when we're looking at how our lives are being spent, you know, a lot of people spending a lot of times in front of the screen, a blue screen, computer analysis, whatever it is that your job is, spending too much time inside. We've got to get outside. We have to get back to nature. And this product is nature-based. And that is why we need to take it to people to say, we've got to get back to nature. And that's this product.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much. I didn't want to upset your digestion system this evening by putting you on the spot, but that's really good advice. Thank you.
It's no problem.
Okay, so thank you, Doctor. And Patricia Thompson, Pat, are you available to chat with us briefly?
Oh, okay.
Hello.
I'm on the move.
Hello.
Hi,
I'm not going to put you on the spot either, but I want to say, so Patricia and I have been chatting. Patricia's in London, and I mean, you were involved with Immunotec some while ago, right? And then had a vacation from it, and have come back again. And again, you've now just qualified to silver. Could you tell us, you know, just because it's very recent for you to come back in and to build your business, how did you get restarted? You know, from where you were, starting from scratch again, and you've done it literally in the last few weeks, haven't you?
Yeah, this was because how good the product has been. I had a couple of people that used to take it, and one lady, her husband, he was told he's got 3 months to live, and she phoned me up and she said, "Hey, Pat, what's that product that you gave me? You know, the one I've been searching online and I can't find it." So I thought, oh, and then I had another person come to me and say, "Oh, I'm so tired, Pat. What's that product you used to do? I remember how it used to make such and such glowing and so forth." And I thought, well, okay, I'm going to try and phone the company and get back to start it. And here I am. But all I can say is hope I'm going to stay the long course this time. My daughter reckons that she's given me 2 years, but I'm going to prove her wrong.
But I mean, this is a good time to come back, isn't it? I mean, because they've prompted you rather than the other way around. You see, a lot of people think there's no one interested. There's a lot of people out there interested right now in looking after their health and feeling more energetic, isn't there?
That's so true, because that booster, I had it, but I wasn't going to use it. And then one of the lady I signed up, I met her in the market, and she go to me, "Pat, and she says, that thing is too strong, you know," because she's Nigerian. She go, "That thing is too strong." "What thing?" "That booster." "Oh no, it kept me up all night." She said she took it after 6 o'clock. Yeah. And I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I should have told you not
Yeah.
to take it late." But I've been so tired myself at a stage because um, I've got to say that I started to get customer because I'm not really working. I got customers and
Mm.
I reached my silver before I actually started taking the product because I knew how good it was already. So I didn't need to really take it to prove to myself. So
Right.
I got myself to my first silver and then now I'm taking it. But so I know it's a bit of a slow thing, but then I was so tired one day and I just couldn't move. And I took that booster and it does work.
Yeah, oh yeah, it definitely does work. And so you've
Yeah.
introduced some people. Have any of those started to work themselves? Has any of those new ones? I mean, you've only been doing it a few weeks, right? Have any of
Yeah.
those started to pick up on what you're doing and starting to duplicate that process? Yeah.
Well, they're trying, but
Okay.
because of the lockdown, and it depends as well what community you're from.
Hmm.
Some community, they don't like to spend money so much on health. That is the problem, I think, with this country as well, because it's easy to go to the doctors and get some tablets, medication. And sometimes the doctor will put you off sort of helping yourself. But when people realize that you've got to combine the two together to keep healthy, then maybe, we'll get more people. But I'm finding it a bit of a struggle. But Scott, you've given me some good tips. And
Yeah.
after I get over my ordeal of last week, I'm going to be starting on it.
Okay. Cool. Well, thanks.
Yeah,
Brilliant. Thanks for. I'm sorry to
yeah.
jump on you like that, but it's great to hear
Yeah,
that.
and I'd
What's
like
been
to say
happening.
thank you to that doctor who made some good points,
Yeah, Dr.
because
Jeffrey.
it,
Yeah.
yeah, it helps those who are coming along. And sometimes you could feel, is it really going to work? Because
Mm.
this product is at a cellular level. So
Mm.
some people don't understand the nature of how it works. So
That's right.
I'm glad that he's made these points.
Well, it is. It's an education process, and it's something that I think it's important. As I said at the beginning of the call, is that go into your back office, um, do the research under resources. You'll see a button at the top, and if you click on that, there's so much information, and you've got to kind of put yourself through a bit of a training yourself, to understand the benefits of the product that you can explain when people ask. It doesn't have to happen tomorrow because you can rely, as we've said, on your upline people to help support you until you become a little bit knowledgeable. And as Dr. Jeffrey said, sometimes too much knowledge is a bad thing. Okay, you need to keep it really simple. You need to
Is he
talk about.
talking about me, Scott?
No, we're not. We're talking. I'm talking generally. I'm saying that it's important that you keep it simple for people to understand because they've
Mm,
got to duplicate this process, right? So if you make it too complex, um, then they think, well, I can't do that, right? But if you talk about extra energy, extra income, protecting your immune system, everybody can understand those basic things, right?
mm.
So thanks for that, Pat. Let's
Thank
move
you.
on.
Thank you,
You're
everyone.
welcome. You're welcome. So let's move on and think. As Pat said, it takes a while. It doesn't happen overnight, and I think you have to really start to think about planning out your diary on that basis. You need to think in terms of what's happening for the next 90 days. What are your goals? Do you want to get to silver right away in that first 90 days? Um, if you can, then definitely go for it. If you miss it, that's not a problem. You heard what Keith said. That the people that dropped out have missed out on fantastic incomes from him and his organization. So the people that only really fail are the people that stop. Okay, so as long as you just keep trickling along, and as you've heard, like Pat's come back into the business after a period away, so you can be very flexible with your organization. You can, as long as you keep that momentum going and stay in the business, stay active. Active, by the way, means that you have paid your annual subscription, which is £24. So even if you don't do anything for 6 or 7 months, right, it doesn't mean that the rest of your organization are not working. Okay, because somebody could have introduced somebody who could have introduced somebody who's working really hard in California, in Spain, doesn't matter where they are, and you wouldn't have even known about it. But providing you pay the annual subscription, the minimum, the £24, then at some point you can pick that up, and all of a sudden you find you've got an organization that's been growing that you weren't aware of. So bear that in mind. When you start this, this is not short term. This is a medium to long term. This is 3 to 5 years, okay? But just a bit at a time, a brick at a time, day by day, and whatever time you can put into it. But for goodness sake, really do understand that. You know, it's so important, because as the business grows now in Europe, we're in a very, very unique position. You know, 4 countries are going to open this year. And you've heard me say this before, but it's worth reminding you, Portugal's going to be first. We're going to be hearing about that in the next few weeks. It's going to start making our first inroads into being able to introduce customers and consultants into Portugal. Now, obviously, people in Spain are right next door. So that's going to be a big part. So also focus on Spain. There's a lot of expats in Spain, a lot of British, Dutch, Irish, German, French, Italian, all living in Spain. And these are all countries that we've got to move into over the next year. So following Portugal will be Italy, Germany, and France. And as I've mentioned on previous calls, don't wait till they open, right? Now's the time to start asking around through your friends, family, and contacts, on your social media channels, on your Facebook friends. Put a question out there. Who do you know in Portugal? My business is expanding. I need some help. Do you know anyone in Portugal? And put it out there on Facebook if you're on Facebook. And you'll find that people will respond. You know, but asking for help on social media is one of the most powerful things you can do. Somebody will reach out and help you, I promise you. It's always the case. And also, you know, my last book I put out there was how to actually use Facebook as a tool to build your business into any market that you want to, whether it be in the UK, Ireland, or any other country we're operating in. So if you haven't got a copy of my book, by the way, it's free. So all you've got to do is email me at slucy@immunitech.com, and I'll send you a virtual book that's online that you can actually use. When I say book, we're talking about 26, 27 pages. You can read it in an hour, and it's really a guide. It's not so much a book, it's a guide how to use Facebook search facilities and groups to build your business, but in a very, very nice way. Making a few online friends. Like in the old days, we used to have pen pals, right? But now you have your Facebook friends. And they're there to help, you know. They're part of your organization. So actually, you know, reach out to me, get a copy of that, start to utilize it. And it will pay off. Not tomorrow, maybe, but over the next several months ahead. This is a great year for you to be actually focusing on building your business around the world. We've got some amazing things going on. And of course, then we've got the big La Vida, the life experience, which is going to be in September, out to Miami. If you fancy a trip to Miami, let me know. I'll show you how you can build your business to qualify for free flights, free hotels, free food, pretty much free everything out there. You know, it's going to be, and everybody wants to get out of this lockdown and move on, right? So these are great times. Now I'm going to open it up for some questions for the last few minutes. We're going to have finish about 45 minutes into the call tonight. So anyone, any of our listeners have any questions they'd like to ask of any of the people that have spoken tonight?
Hi, Scott, it's Jeffrey.
Oh, yes, Doctor, tell me.
I was just thinking about the activity that's happening in the United Kingdom.
Yes.
You know, Patricia's her take of what's happening. Is she in London? I don't
Yes,
know.
yes,
Yeah. So there's quite a few things, and I just posted you a wee text there.
yes.
It is in the fact that you know, with the NHS and how we've been indoctrinated into thinking that the NHS is going to save us and give us health. The NHS is not a health system; it's a sick
No.
care system.
Yes.
And I think we have to take the responsibility for our health in our own hands. And we need to make sure that we can mitigate all the things that decrease our health and vitality. And when it comes to certain, because we're a nation of so many different people from all over the world, you know, I'm from Canada, and we have other people coming from Australia or Africa, South America. We're like Canada, we're a melting pot. We really are. So what happens is that our bodies require different functions and different needs because we come from different areas of the globe, and we're in an area that has not so much sunshine as, say, Spain,
Right.
or
Yes.
you know, say the Canary Islands.
Yeah.
So there's a real feed for that, because we know that light has a big effect on glutathione in the body, in terms of how it could be exponentiated in terms of its effect on the body and its health. So that's a really important thing. So I think that we need to, as a collective people in the UK, say, we do not want to put our health in the hands of the government, because you're just putting your hands into the hands of the devil. It's your health is your command and your responsibility. And when we decide that we say, I don't want to put money aside to pay for, you know, a coffee, 2 coffees every day, I'm going to put my health into 1 coffee a day, and the other one's going to go towards a sachet of Immunical.
I think it's worth saying that we had Dr. Nancy Cellini on the call from New York a few weeks ago, and she said, what are you putting into your health bank? I mean, you have a bank account for money, but what are you putting into your health bank? And as this really ties in with what you're saying, Jeffrey, you know, is to actually invest in your own health, rather than wait till you get sick and have the GP dish out a bunch of drugs that are only going to mask the problem, generally speaking. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, and in ancient times, in Chinese culture, you were paid as a doctor to keep people healthy. If they became ill, you did not get paid.
That's
and
right.
So we have to totally rethink our attitude towards our health, our body, what we want to put into our body, what we accept into our body, what it's going to do to us, how good is it, how bad is it. Doesn't matter whether it's food, whether it's water, whether it's clothes, whether it's rug. It doesn't matter what it is. You have to sit there and start asking questions and saying, how is this going to impact my health? It doesn't matter what it is. It could be something really small and really big. But what we do know about this product is that it will boost your immune system by boosting glutathione every time you take it. As Keith said, it works every time, given time. And we know that also we need to have a financial health as well. And this provides us with a vehicle for 2 things that are incredibly powerful, particularly when the fact that we are in the precipice of watching the tsunami that's going to hit the European market. And we are at the very, very beginning when the earthquake has happened, and we're going to ride that wave. And that may take 4 or 5 years. Maybe that's what it is, because I've been with this company since day one when it opened in the UK back in January 2015. And I've been through the ups and the downs of everything. But what I do know is that this place is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger in its exposure to direct sales, and people are going, oh yeah, immune system, Immunical, immune system, Immunical, immune system, Immunical, I.
Yeah.
It's going to get better and better.
Well,
but
I think I will add to that, because we are in the process right now. Literally, we're just a couple of weeks away from launching our new global website and back office, which has been a year, nearly 18 months in the making.
Nice.
And it's tens of millions have gone into this. So it's a huge, huge investment the company's made to bring the website up to 21st century standards and interface it with social media. And so it's going to become much more efficient. And this is why I'm saying that, you know, don't sit on your laurels and wait for this stuff to happen. We're going to have a lot more consultants on the field to support the inquiries that are coming in, because as the product becomes known more in the UK and Europe through the amount of money that we're investing in social media promotion, as Jeffrey's just said, they're going to hear that word communical, immune system, communical. They'll become synonymous with each other. And you need to be in a position where you've got a good substantial organization to take advantage of that. Okay, don't let everybody else come in from Canada and the States and take it away from you, because that's what's happening right now. Right, the British distributors are really just taking this not as seriously as they could do, whereas what's coming in from South America and Canada and America, they're now using the UK as the springboard into Europe.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So you're hearing it here for the first time. We are very fortunate, particularly for those of you who live in the southeast of the UK, that we have a very diverse population in London and the southeast of every European language there is, and beyond. Okay, so I really encourage you to take care of that. So that's it for this evening. I really enjoyed the participation from you all. Thank you so much, particularly Jeffrey, Patricia, for joining us. Keith's obviously gone off to do other things. It's only lunchtime over there in San Diego. But I'll be back here next Wednesday with another call and a new guest. But just to remind you that actually this week, on Thursday, tomorrow evening, we're going to go through a bit more of a focus and recap on how to identify people that are going to be qualifying as silver in your organization. How can you spot someone before they get to that point, right? So that's a call at 6 o'clock tomorrow evening in the UK. If you want to make a note of that, the ID for the call will be put out on to the group chat as well. So once again, thanks all so much. If there's no more questions, we'll call it an evening for tonight, and hopefully see you again all very soon. Okay, take care.
Sorry, Scott, is that going to
Yes.
be on Zoom? Tomorrow's
Zoom.
meeting?
Zoom tomorrow at 6 p.m. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
I'll send a link out for everyone.
Okay, and is the doctor, where is?
He's down in the south coast of England. We've gone quiet on this, but there we go. So great.
I'm in sunny, windy Worthing.
Sunny, windy Worthing. There you are.
West Sussex.
Yeah. I think she's gone quiet on this, but there we go. All good. Thanks so much, everyone, and see you all soon. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Scott. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You're welcome, Marina. Bye-bye.